The Berkeley Pit in Butte, Montana is a feature in one of the largest Superfund sites in the United States. Some may find it visually appealing, but the colors in this former open pit copper mine result from dissolved metals like aluminum, copper, iron, and zinc. The water undergoes a complex treatment process to make it sufficiently clean to return to Montana streams. Montana Resources, in partnership with Atlantic Richfield Company, generally treats more than 3 million gallons of Berkeley water each day, controlling the Berkeley Pit water level at a near static elevation, then discharges appropriate volumes of treated water into Silver Bow Creek. There are 6 basic stages to this highly complex process. Floating barge pumps draw water out of the pit and feed it to larger pumps to convey the water out of the depression. These stainless steel corrosion-resistant pipes are able to withstand the acidic elements running through them and feature a redundant pump system for safety. The water is then pumped to the copper recovery system, where it is percolated over scrap iron. The residual copper in the water is deposited on the scrap iron in a process known as chemical precipitation. The cell is then drained, the slime-like copper is stripped off, and the tin returns to the cell to repeat the process. The pit water is then pumped to the Horseshoe Bend Water Treatment Plant, where it is agitated in a high-energy aeration tank and exposed to lime. The water then overflows into a low-energy clarifier where solids settle at the bottom, allowing clean water to rise to the top. During this process, the pH of the water is increased from 4.5 to around 7 to remove suspended aluminum, and then further increased to nearly 10.5 in a second stage to remove additional metals. At this point, the recycled water is returned to the mill where it is incorporated into the active mining process of the Continental Mine. After the milling and concentration processes, the water emerges as a slurry of around 65% water and 35% solids. The slurry is then piped to the Yankee Doodle tailings impoundment, an earthen dam that allows solids from the slurry to settle in a tailings mass on the south end and water to be decanted to a pond on the north end. The Horseshoe Bend Area Seep, a tow drain from the Yankee Doodle tailings impoundment, is another Superfund site feature that Montana Resources actively manages. Because the Horseshoe Bend water travels through Berkeley Pit waste material, it is still highly acidic with a pH level of about 3 and requires the same stainless steel pipes and even more powerful pumps to pump the water from the seeps back up to the tailings impoundment where lime is added. Water dwells here for months, allowing chemical reactions to complete and solids to settle out of the water. At this point, water from the tailings pond has low metals content and a pH of 10.5, a level too basic to discharge. In the final treatment step, Montana Resources pipes the water down alongside Rampart Mountain to a polishing facility operated by the Atlantic Richfield Company, where the water is filtered for removal of particulates and the pH level is further reduced to near neutral, approximately 7. At this point, the water is fully treated. The clean water is then released into Silver Bow Creek and is tested daily to ensure it meets state and federal standards.